Hello everyone, in this video I am going to explain about dynamic programming. Dynamic programming is an algorithm technique used to solve optimization and counting problems by breaking this problem into smaller subproblems and solving each subproblem only once and storing the subproblem solution in the result in the memory, and whenever it is required we can retrieve this and reuse it. It is one of the most important design techniques in design analysis of algorithms. Why it is called dynamic? The question is why it is called dynamic. So the solution is built gradually by solving smaller subproblems. That's why it is called dynamic. And the mainly it focus or it is based on two key principles. The first principle is memoization. And the second one is tabulation. These are the two key principles on which dynamic programming works. Let us talk about memoization. It starts with the original problem, uses recursion, stores computed results in a table, reuses stored values whenever it is required. The steps included in memoization are solve recursively. Before solving a problem, check whether the solution already exists in the memory or not. If it exists in the memory, then we can reuse it, no need to recalculate it. And the second one is tabulation. In the tabulation, starts with the smallest subproblems, uses iteration, fills a table step by step, fills the final answer from previously computed values. Let us see one example why dynamic programming is very important. In divide and conquer also, we will take the problem and this problem will be divided into subproblems. And these subproblems will be solved recursively and we will find out the final solution. This is followed in the divide and conquer. In dynamic programming also the same problem will be divided into subproblems and we will find out the solution for each subproblem. The difference between dynamic programming and divide and conquer is in divide and conquer we will store the result. We will store the result in the memory. No need to recalculate it. Whenever it is required, we will retrieve from the memory and we can use it. This is called reusability. Reusability. Let us see one example. Fibonacci series. We all know what is Fibonacci series. So we have 0, 1, 1, 2, 3 and 5 and so on. Now let us consider 0 as Fibonacci 0 and Fibonacci 1, Fib 2 and so on. Now I want to find out, let us consider I want to find out the value of Fib 3. How can I find out? I want to add the previous two values, that is Fib 2 and 1. So how I can get Fib 2? By adding the previous values, that is 1 and 0. So now I can write it as Fib 0 and 1. So if you observe clearly, how many times I am calculating for Fib 1 and 2? 0. And if I want to calculate the fourth value, let us consider the fourth value. Fib 4. Now I want to add the previous value, that is Fib 3 and Fib 2. Okay. Now I want to add the previous value of third value, that is Fib 2 and Fib 1. Here also same 1 and 0. So how many times you observe, how many times I am using Fib 1 and Fib 0? Let us calculate 1 two times I want to calculate verb 0 and 1, 2, 3 and verb 2, 1, 2. So now I am calculate multiple times. If I am using divide and conquer here, I want to recalculate the values of verb 1 and verb 2, 3 and 0. This will consume a lot of time. In order to avoid that, we are going for dynamic programming. In dynamic programming, we don't need to calculate the result. Already existing solution, which is already calculated and stored in the memory, that can be reused. We can retrieve from the memory and we can reuse whenever it is required. So only once we are going to calculate verb 0, verb 1 or verb 2. So now whenever it is required, here I require verb 1, here I require verb 2 and 0. So the same value I am going to utilize. This is one of the example for dynamic programming. Advantages of using dynamic programming is reusability. This is the reusability. No need to recompute it. And it is very fast compared to the other programs. Other algorithm design techniques, because here we are not going to recalculate the same values. So it is fast compared to the other algorithm design techniques. And it is also having some drawbacks. We have to use extra pointers. This is the one of the drawbacks. Extra space is required to store these values. This is one of the drawbacks. That's it. This is about basics of dynamic programming. Thank you.